everyone, welcome to the July vlog of 2025, and today you join me straight into the Dalek project because they're coming earlier and earlier in the month, and we already have this month's parts, so we're going to go straight into building the Dalek and then the rest of the vlog. So to start off this month's collection, or part of the collection, we have received our final free gift, and it is this, which is a TARDIS mug, which may come as a bit of a surprise to you if you've been following this, especially when we first started, because they said it was going to be a Dalek blueprint mug, which would have been really, really cool considering we're building a Dalek. However, something must have happened behind the scenes, because literally everybody that I know who is doing this has received this, which is the TARDIS mug, which isn't half bad, really. It's actually pretty nice. It's very good quality print. The blue motif goes onto the handle at the back there. Not bad. Pretty good. You know, it just would have been nice if it's officially branded merch as well. It even has a barcode on the bottom there. But, you know, it would have been nice if it was a Dalek, you know, themed building mug. But, you know, this is good. This is good enough. This is pretty good. I like this. But anyway, let's move on to the first section of the build today, and we're starting with number 23. Alright, part 23 looks like we are putting on that back wall of the command centre, or the midsection of the Dalek, or the interior of the mid. You get it. And it is exactly as I predicted, you know, last month. I was going to say last week, because I have a habit of saying that, but no, like this last month, this is built monthly. I must remember this. Yes, we are going to be attaching the back wall. And of course, I think attaching these little greeble things, which are just loosely attached to the back there for storage. Okay, so these are the parts for the first section. We have another one of the back panels, we have some kind of brace, and we have AP and FP screws, which we are going to now attach this to that, and then brace it with this. So, yeah, let's do that now. And there we go. So now, all we need to do is make sure this is lined up. And according to this, with the pointy bit at the top, we essentially, yep, that's right, pointy bit at the top, stick this onto, there it is, there, like that. Can't really see that because of the contrast, but we then just screw it in, I think. Let me just turn the page on the instruction book over here. Yes, just screw it in. We'll skip that part. Well, I won't, but you will. Right, so now that that's done and nice and secure, we're going to be attaching these little greeble, well, it says pipework and tank containers, so I'm guessing this contains something in the context of this. So let's go ahead and attach those now. They're going to go to the, I don't actually know if you can see that, because from my viewfinder on the camera it looks like pitch black. But yeah, we're going to be attaching them to the back of here, essentially. So let's do that now, I guess. Right, so for this part, when we're attaching those greebles things, it does say that you use FP screws, but of course we only have one FP screw left. It actually means AP screws, which is the other screws they gave you. For some reason it says FP screws in the magazine, which I guess is an error in the printing. It's unusual to see that. But, you know, it is what it is, and we've corrected it, or I've corrected it, and I'm just fitting them with AP screws into these holes here. So there we go, just a little thing, you know, to watch out for if you are going to be building this in the future, or if you are building this. Okay, so that is the completed work for issue 23. We've fitted basically the bottom level of the Dalek's inner chassis. So next we are working on part 24, and this is the box that we get for part 24, and I'm fairly certain, judging by of course the magazine, that we're doing another section of the wall, because this is actually 2 stories. At least I think it's at least 2 stories, and it's going to be pretty tall. So yeah, let's get it out and get it put together. For this part we have another section of the wall, slightly smaller than before, 2 more of those tanks and AP and FP screws. So I'm assuming that we just kind of, in fact I don't have to assume, it's right next to me like I said. We're attaching these pieces to here. Whoops, not like that obviously. And I think, nope, we also have to attach it to there as well. So this to there, this to there. Let's, well, it might go on that side. Let's just see what it looks like. Lining those up with those screw thing holes there is not easy when you can't see underneath it. But got one in, gonna hold it in place, and we're gonna get it screwed in. Only problem is with this magnetic screwdriver, it can be difficult to get it on the end, you know. Careful, don't drop it. If we drop a screw, I don't know if I've got spares. It always gives you a spare, so maybe later on if you have the same kind of screw later on in the build and you lose it, you have a spare somewhere from a previous section. So I guess that's good. I'm actually saving all of the spares for that very occurrence. I have a carpet that's very similar to the colour of these screws. It is on this side and it is getting much taller. We're just going to be attaching the flange head screws into the bracket in between them, I guess. And there is 4 of them, so this should be fun. A lot of screwing. My mind. But yeah, there is a lot of screwing involved in this build. But like I said, this is my first ever part works. It's not my first ever model I've built, but it's the first major, you know, model I've ever built. Like anything like serious. Anyway, this is the first serious, proper model I've ever built. Like proper, you know, decent, expensive model. And so far it's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it thoroughly, and it won't be my last part works. It is the only part works I'm going to be working on until it's finished, and then after it's done I'll have a look into another one and we'll build another one, maybe on the channel or maybe just something I'm doing, you know, off camera. But yeah, they're pretty fun to do. But there we go. That's the first half of the interior, second level, finished. Because I think I got that right. Yeah. It sort of levels here. It's interesting. Well, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I digress. That is the completed work for part 24 of the Dalek. Part 25, I'm not sure if I said 24 just a moment ago, but anyway, part 25. And yeah, the instructions are essentially the exact same as the other issue, except mirrored, because it's on the other side. Okay then, let's just do it. Screw this in. I thought I'd document it. I did drop a screw. It is on the carpet near my feet. I cannot see it at all. The lighting is not that great in here. At least not at the moment. I don't have my full lights on, and they're actually orange as well. Don't know if you can tell that, because I sometimes sit in this room with an orange light rather than a white light, because it's a little bit more atmospheric. But yeah, there is a screw somewhere on my carpet which I'm sure I will step on at some point. It's not going to be comfortable. But yeah, all in good fun. And there we have it, the completed work for the entire, well, not the entire, but a lot of the interior of the Daleks control center, essentially. It isn't the last issue of this part, but you know, that is actually remarkably big. The Dalek head, of course, is going to sit, as you can see here, roughly about, off frame. Yeah, it's going to be gigantic, this. In fact, that's, yeah, got a generous amount of weight to it. Yeah, this is going to be a big model. Okay, so this issue, issue 26, is one I've been looking at online because, of course, I do sometimes look ahead to see what's coming up, and this one just includes a lot of essentially wires and cables and dangly bits, which I guess is in this box, and it's actually a little bit more complex-ish than I thought it was going to be. So let's have a look. And there we have it. Took about 5 minutes to unpack. There's a lot of little wires and cables and things. I actually thought these might be rubbery, but they're not. They are quite stiff and stable, and it's just going to make the detailing in there look really cool. A bit monochrome, it's a bit black, but that's fine. A lot of people have been painting the inside of these. Personally, I'm not going to do that. Like I've said, keeping it as is, at least for now. And let's go ahead and attach all of these, shall we? So there is one thing I have noticed when building this, is that each part kind of has a name, like the containers and the things that connect to the containers. I can't remember what they're called, but I'll look through the magazine at some point. And the fact that this little piece here, which connects these sections, there's like a textury kind of appearance to it. I don't know how well you can see that, because like I said, the contrast on my screen is really dark. Don't mind that, that's my phone. This is called an integrator, or an integrator, which is an actual part. It goes up here, and it integrates all of the cables and things, I guess. Fascinating, isn't it? It's one of the reasons why I really like this model. This was a lot more fiddly than I thought it was going to be, putting in the cables and everything, because I actually discovered, I don't know if it was on the video, but the integrator at the top, I put it in upside down. It is what it is. Don't know if you can tell or see that, but look at those details. Look at those cables there. Some of them aren't even attached to anything yet. Obviously, we've got more to come. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely love the detailing in there. It's brilliant. This whole spiky thing at the back, absolutely love it. But that is the completed work for this part. These sections are not attached yet, so we're going to have to keep those safe until next month, essentially. Well, it's not actually a month, it's more like 3-4 weeks. It's been such a while, but I've finally managed to get my hand on some Hawkston beer. This is beer made by Jeremy Clarkson, or Jeremy Clarkson's team, or Jeremy Clarkson himself. I have never been able to get my hands on it. I should have ordered it on the internet, but I waited out, and sure and behold, lo and behold, whatever the word is, there it was in my local store. So I finally have some Hawkston lager. I've tried his cider already, amazing. So the beer, I'm holding out hope for it to be just as amazing. Well, the Hawkston beer, brilliant, absolutely delicious. One of the best lagers, beers I've ever had. It really is. I should have done a taste test on camera, but it is what it is. Kind of just forgot I didn't have my camera on me. One of those excuses. But anyway, as you can see here, we have just announced something on the channel which you might be aware of already, because of course these vlogs are way in the past from everything that's released, but I'm just documenting everything for the sake of prosperity anyway. Yes, as it says there, we are remastering Season 8 of the Monkcast, which means we're cleaning up the visuals a little bit. We're not recreating any visuals, we're just going to basically touch up the original ones, because a lot of the first section, or the first half of Season 8 of the original Monkcast did have a lot of live action sequences in it, and the house that I shot that in, which was my mother's house, no longer looks like that, so it's impossible to reshoot, at least to keep it authentic. So like I said, we're just going to basically touch up the visuals and re-record all of the dialogue, except for the fan mail section, which might be the original audio from the episode, possibly, or a brand new section of fan mail answered, you know, within the context of the episode, within the time period. So I'm just recording one of the remasters, and people often ask me, you know, as a person who can do, you know, sound-alike voices of the Chipmunks and Chipettes, have I ever heard them swear? Yep. Especially when I make mistakes. And no, you're not going to hear them in the blooper reel. I might be wrong by future content in this video, but it's definitely one of the shorter vlogs. There's really not been much going on apart from getting Aria ready for her first day of school, which is in September sometime. She's a little bit delayed going to school because she needs to have some educational healthcare plan thing put in place because of her mobility issues. But other than that, you know, she's still starting school in September. Probably going to document more of that as it's happening properly, like her first day and so on, if I can. You know, I'm often behind the wheel of my car, which is why I can't vlog sometimes. You know, vlogging and doing things is a bit difficult, you know, especially in a car. It's kind of illegal, I guess, especially with your phone. You can't touch your phone while driving. Never do that. But anyway, moving on, I guess. I'm going to play some more Death Stranding 2. Though I think this might make it a little bit more interesting. A couple days later now, by the way. This particular Spider-Man figure, which is the Sam Raimi, you know, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Very, very highly detailed. It's from the Marvel Legends series line. And this particular Spider-Man, I think I was gifted it for Christmas. Maybe the Christmas before last, just before I moved. Well, the reason I mention this is because I've actually managed to pick up this version, which is the black-suited Spider-Man from the Legends line. Very similar sculpt to this one, as you can see here. And very much different head and different symbol and everything, as you would expect, as per the costume. It does come with a piece of the symbiont there, and of course different hands and the mask as well, which you can attach to him. Obviously you have to swap the heads around, which you can do with this one too. Obviously, goes without, can't see my viewfinder. Goes without saying, I guess. Pretty good shot. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Pretty cool. And there we have it. Out of the box and pretty much neutrally displayed, we have both of the Spider-Man figures. Very, very well detailed, like really, really nice attention to detail on the, you know, on the costume there. Because you can actually see all of the little hexagon or intricate little patterns within his suit. You know, the little texture. Same on this one too. Absolutely there. There's a bit of paint weathering on his mask. I'm not sure why, because I've had this figure since I got it displayed with the Peter Parker head. So, yeah. Pretty cool though. Very, very nice display pieces, and they're going to be very prominently displayed either side of each other somewhere on my shelves. I'm playing Death Stranding 2 and I've just completed the main story after almost 50 hours, and it's an absolutely phenomenally weird game, but really, really good. Like, I was literally like mouth to the floor. I don't want to say gobsmacked because that sounds British, but you know, I was absolutely blown away, like, by the visuals, by the story, and the gameplay is just so engrossing. It really is. It's not a walking simulator. If you think that, go play it. Yep, if you've been following the channel and you've been waiting for any reference to it in this vlog, well, it's happening. Season 3 is currently under production. We are making the episodes now as we speak. I can't tell you how many episodes we've made so far, but It's not an easy and not a quick process. That's why we've started almost 2 months early before the release. So, of course, we are currently in July. We've got until mid-September to make as many episodes as we can, so we are, you know, up to date and not lagging, or what's the proper term for it, delayed with any episodes when we release them bi-weekly. So the episodes will be released every 2 weeks, and in between you'll have other videos like the remasters of Season 8 and maybe Brittany Talks and so on, which is why you're looking at Brittany. I wanted something Chipmunk related. I can't show you the material for the series. We have changed the models and everything. Kind of. You might be surprised when you see them, actually, if you've followed the show for a while. But yeah, it's going pretty well. Can't wait to show everyone. Okay, so today's been a bit of an interesting one. One hell of a roller coaster of a day, really. First of all, my daughter attended this pet workshop at a pet store where little kids can go in and stroke animals of all different kinds, like chinchillas, rabbits, that kind of thing. And while my daughter was there, because she has mobility issues and a disability, she unfortunately, she has like a mobility stroller, which is like a great big stroller for a 4-year-old. She was reaching forward to pet one of the animals and whoosh, fell out of the stroller faster than anyone could react and smashed her head on the very hard floor about maybe less than half a foot below her stroller. I say stroller because pram just sounds wrong, which is what a British person would say. But anyway, I digress. She had a great big Tom and Jerry style lump on her head, which is very similar to a lump that I had when I was younger, although mine was bigger. This great big, I think mine was on this side, like a great big lump on her head, which we did call the doctors about, and they said it was fine. She wasn't concussed. She could sleep. Everything's fine. If she throws up, call them back, that kind of thing. And she's fine. She's fallen asleep now. It's 9 o'clock in the afternoon or evening, and everything's fine. So yeah. And then after that, we attended my dad's birthday meal. As you know, my dad passed away. Or as you may know, my dad passed away about 2 or 3 months ago. I have actually lost track. It's been so long. Well, not been so long, but I think it's 3 months ago. 4 months actually. Well, 3.5. 3 and a bit. Wow. I had to think about that one. Time has really just gone out of nowhere. But anyway, yeah, we went to his birthday meal. Everything was pretty good there. Nice food and everything, and it was a bit of a somber tone, and everyone was enjoying it. It was good. We're going to do that every year. We're going to celebrate his birthday, regardless of his physical existence, I guess. Yeah. Unbelievable. It's something I didn't think I'd have to be doing this year, is going to my dad's birthday meal without him. Don't worry, I'm not a monster. I do feel it. I just don't show it on camera. I'm not one of those YouTubers who sat there going, oh, sad day. You know, I'm not about that. I'm not about that. But yes. Thank you for listening. For the 200 people, if that watch these vlogs. If you watched it all the way through, you know, I give a thumbs up back to you if you do that on the video. I know that you come to this channel to watch the Chipmunks, so I don't blame you. I would too. It's not what it used to be, though. I mean, this channel, or this channel community, used to have 35,000 subscribers before we was decimated by the adpocalypse. And then, of course, we had to change channels as well, because the other one got wrongly taken down. Long story. But again, I digress. That is the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as for now, catch you in the next vlog. It is vlog over.